Hi, folks, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Vitor Vicente podcast. I know that 10 is not a huge number, but making it to double digit means a lot to me. So I couldn't leave it without having a guest I'm very much looking forward to, and I'm sure it has a lot of terrific insights to share with you. His name is Sérgio Tavares, and he's a Portuguese journalist known for getting out of the studio and stepping into the spot to witness and report firsthand the events we all hear about in the media, or maybe not as much as they tend to be omitted. So stay around and you hear his experiences in places like Davos, Ukraine, or Washington, and also how he found himself arrested at a Brazilian airport upon arrival. And I hope you enjoyed this episode and express your gratitude with a thumbs up. It will also be great if you could subscribe to my channel. And I see you in a sec. Hi, Sergio. Welcome to my podcast.
Hello, Vitor. Thank you for inviting me. And I have to say, first of all, that in the beginning of this podcast, my English will be not perfect because I don't practice a lot. But I think that in the end of the podcast, it will look like I'm living on UK for a long time ago. So don't worry. In the beginning, I will have to think about the words I have to say. But I hope that in some minutes later I can think without I can talk without thinking on about the words. But thank you for this invitation, and it's good to be here. And for me, it's a different experience to speak in English all the time.
Well, I'm impressed if you think that's just the beginning and you are struggling. Like I'm already thinking that you are living in the UK for at least 3-5 years. So I think you can be pretty confident.
Yeah, because but I know that some of the words I will miss some of the words. I will know that words in Portuguese, but I will forget in English. But you will help me.
Okay, so I have an additional responsibility. No problem.
Yes,
no problem.
yes.
I'm happy to support, especially because I was very much looking forward to have you here. So this is episode 10, which for someone who has been around the block, it's nothing. But for a person like me who started end of January, getting to double digit, it's a milestone. So I'm very, very delighted with that. And you were one of the guests I was very excited to have on the other side of the screen. So I think it's a perfect match. Number 10 and you. And the reason is you are someone who goes to the field. You step into the spot. You see things with your own pair of eyes. You don't rely on what the media is telling. No, you want to go there yourself. Most of the times you go on your own, which is remarkable. So risking your life, risking your reputation, putting your resources at stake. But you want to do real investigation. So I think it's fantastic. I'm a bit biased. Because I'm a fan of yours, but I'm not hiding it. So full transparency here. So I think the audience will benefit a lot from hearing from you because you go there, as I said, and there are not many filters. It's just you and what's happening, and you are reporting that. So, like, hats off for you.
Yes, I'm completely independent, and that's very valuable because I don't have to report to nobody. Even the name of my channel is my own name, Sérgio Tavares. So I can do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want, and I don't have to follow nothing, any instructions from anyone. And the reason I do it, it's because in 2020, when the pandemic arrived, I understood that something was wrong, very wrong in our world, and that was just the beginning of something that I would come to discover later, that the humankind is under attack, completely under attack, and the pandemics is just one small part of this of that attack. And the media is the big army of these globalists that are endorsing this attack. And I understood that when I saw during the pandemic, all the channels, all the media talking the same language, silencing people, scientists, silencing people with different opinions. So I understood that I had to see with my own eyes some other realities and show it to the other people. And I don't want people to think like me. I just want them to see another vision of the world, another other side of the news. And every person have to have their own thoughts, to think by himself. So that's why I was doing that. And this attack to the humankind affects also the family and the children. And I have two kids with 9 years old, a girl with 9 years old, and a boy with 10 years old. And I don't want them to grow in a world when in a moment they can see all his rights violated. They can be without freedom. So that's why I'm so activist, and that's why I go to the fields, why I risk myself, because I want to see by myself. I want to be an example for my kids. I want to be an example for other persons to be activists and to fight against this attack that is happening to the humankind, because this is very serious what is happening. And I know that I'm talking about I'm entering in a dangerous field when I go to Davos, when I go to Ukraine, United States, Brazil, where I was arrested. We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But my feelings say to go, so I have to go.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really admire, that you get the call and you just go, because there is a duty, and that's something that you cannot avoid. Like, there are things that they need to be witnessed, and they want to share that to the public, because otherwise they will be on the side and they will never be known of the public. So you feel that gap, like not many people are doing. I think that's what journalism used to be, like many years ago. So journalism will be on the other side of the establishment. So now they are, as you said, an army of the big powers. And before, they were a threat. Like I remember, like, journalists having their jobs at risk because they were telling things that were not popular. They were telling things that the government didn't want to be known of the public. And now is the opposite. So one thing you did was, during the so-called pandemic, that you went to Sweden, which I don't see many journalists doing it. What did you observe when you were there in Sweden that we were not told by the mainstream media?
Yeah, Sweden was something amazing, incredible, and because it was the I think one of the only country in the world, maybe, and there were other countries that with the same strategy, but as far as I know, Sweden was the only one with a different strategy to fight this so-called pandemic, without masks, without lockdowns, without closing schools. The only thing I saw that there was the closing of the discos, and it was the only thing. So when I went 2 times to Sweden. First during the so-called pandemic, and the second time after the pandemic was over, to show the results, the final results. So in the first time I went there was during a lockdown in Portugal. So everybody was closed at home. Everybody was afraid. The Christmas, everybody, the shops closed, the schools closed, everybody with masks, a lot of masks, massive masks in Portugal. And but I didn't agree with nothing of that. So I had to go to a place where I could be free and not be close at home. So I went to Sweden to see with my own eyes what was happening there, because I heard that they have a different strategy. But the news in Portugal were very intriguing, because they were telling that Sweden will be suicide. Sweden is a wrong strategy. But I didn't saw any journalists, any televisions to go there and to talk to them and to see what was happening. Nobody. They say they were saying that Sweden was with a wrong strategy, but don't without going there. So I went there during the lockdown, December, November, and December to 2020, and it was for me a surprise, an amazing surprise, because I saw the streets with a lot of people doing shops with bags with gifts, Christmas gifts, people at the bars cheering and talking and laughing. I interviewed 2 Portuguese there in a pub, and I asked them, so how it is to live in a country like Sweden during the pandemic, and they said to me, for us there is no pandemic. We do the same. We do the same every day. So the only thing, we don't see so many crowd people together. The discos are closed, but we do the same. For us, it's the same. That life goes on. And I was thinking, wow, this is amazing, because supposedly these Sweden people would kill the grandmother, the father, the sisters. Everybody would. I would find some bodies on the street, because they, without masks, without vaccination, like Portugal, less rate of vaccination, 73, I think, without lockdowns. But no, they have a first wave with some serious deaths, like I think it was 6,000, but not real COVID deaths, because a lot of those deaths were about flu and pneumonia and other diseases. But we know that it was everybody said that what was COVID. But after that, they got herd immunity. So after that, they went down, and they were completely like this, like stable. And Portuguese, we kill a lot of people with other diseases, because we cancel operations and medical treatments. And in the end of this old story, I came back in 2023, and Sweden finished with the less COVID deaths than Portugal, without lockdowns, without masks. Even if we know that those COVID deaths were not real COVID deaths, because we know that were from other causes, and with a very important thing, that there is no extra mortality in Sweden, no mortality extra, and Portugal has in the last 3 years a lot of extra mortality rates without explanation. Young people, adult people, elderly. And Sweden, no, that's in excess, and that's amazing. A country with the same number of population, 10 million, with a lot of differences from temperature, because there is snow on Stockholm, and people go to shopping with a warm temperature. They go outside and it's cold, so very different temperatures. And they in the end, the results were much better than in Portugal.
Yeah, and that's something that, again, it's not being told in the Portuguese news, in the mainstream news all over the world. So they are not recognized by the results they achieve, because it's not in people's interest. And that will lead to another excursion I would like to discuss with you, which was the one you did, I think, earlier in 2023. So you went all the way to Davos in Sweden, and you were talking to a Rebel News reporter, and you were saying, this is a circus. So what kind of clowns did you see there when you were going around in Davos?
Well, in Davos, it was amazing, because I didn't expect to find what I found there on that village in the Swiss Alps. because it was a small town completely taken by the big globalists. When I say completely taken, is completely. So I will do an example. A restaurant that works all the year in Davos, on that week is closed, and everything from the restaurant is taken out, and they put there a company like BlackRock, like Microsoft, a company stand.
Right.
And they rent the space, the place for that week for a lot of money, a lot of money. So on that week, it looks like a big exposition on the village with all the globalist companies, all the globalist enterprises.
Can you name
And
a few examples of companies, BlackRock and
yes, all the.
Remember, yeah.
Oh, is the BlackRock, I forgot the name of the other, but there are the big ones. All the big ones are
No
there.
problem.
Yeah, and of course the economic forum with a lot of people with guns, armed guards, and a lot of people. And the hotels are completely full, booked there. But the one night in Davos, or the most cheaper night in Davos, was 8,000 euros per night. 8,000 euros.
8,000 euros per night.
8,000 per night in the best, in the most in the cheapest hotel, because there are other hotels with other prices much more higher.
8,000
so
euros just to see the circus, just to see the clowns. That's very expensive.
Yeah. And all the big globalists are there every year. The pandemic globalists, the climate globalists like John Kerry, Al Gore, the Bill Gates, they all go there. The Antonio Guterres, the Tedros Adhanom from the World Health Organization. And when I saw Rebel News there, for me it was amazing, because they are an inspiration for me. They are heroes for me, because they are doing the job that is very valuable. And it was amazing for me to meet them, and the sympathy of them, because they told me, they made me an interview, and they told me, stay with us, let's fight with us, come with us, let's get all these guys with us. And so I got the chance to cut John Kerry, Tedros Adhanom. It was amazing for me. I was very happy. Even with the temperature, it was very difficult, because it was 14 negative degrees. It was very difficult to have my fingers without gloves.
How come? Like, with all the global warming, how come there were minus 40?
Yeah. The global warming is bullshit, because all those guys there, the globalists there, they went most of them with the private jets, and
Yes.
I was on the airport, and the on that week the number of the jets was more than 1,000. That supposedly pollutes more in 1 week than 350,000 cars driving without stopping, with any interruption during a week. So they are very this is in hypocrisy, because they talk about the climate, the carbon footprint, but
Yes.
they don't care the carbon footprint for the others, not for them. So it was amazing. And one of the things I most enjoyed there in Davos, it was the theme of that year conference, because the main theme, the main subject was to recover the confidence. So that for me it's very good, because it means that they know that people no longer have confidence in them, and that means that they are being exposed. So if they have the need to recover the confidence of the people, it's because they know that they are being exposed. So we are doing our job very well, because in the beginning I felt alone. I even thought that I was crazy, But now I know that a lot of people is doing the same, like me, like Rebel News, like you, like a lot of people. Everyone with his own mission. Everybody has his own mission. Your mission is to do that. I have my mission is to do another thing. A mission of the other person is to make it to share our work. So everybody has his mission. But now we are a lot. We are thousands and thousands and thousands. I saw that in Brazil. I saw that in the United States. I saw that in Brussels during the rallies that I went, freedom rallies that I was in Spain. I saw that in the Europe during the farmers protest. So now I'm very optimistic because we are now a big army to resist to this attack.
Yeah. I'm completely with you. I think there is a growing backlash against the system, and the tools we are using, internet, social media, are a huge benefit, because like in the past they were not accessible. We had to rely on what's happening in TV. We had to rely on what our parents and our teachers were showing to us. And now we can create separate channels. We can build alternatives, and we can spread them very, very easily. We know that there is censorship on the big media, but still we can find avenues, as you just witnessed when you were touring around in Europe. So you mentioned that you were participating or taking part as a journalist, and also raising your voice in the protests across Europe. And I think most of them were related to the farmers' discontent against the measures from their governments. I think it happened in Belgium, France, Italy. So what did you witness when you were there?
A lot of different reasons. I saw different reasons even in Portugal, but one or two of the reasons are the same for all the countries. First, the climate agenda. They contest the climate restrictions. They say that the climate restrictions are killing their own business, and it are not possible to do those targets. And they contest also the European Union, Ursula von der Leyen, and all the bureaucracy, all the regulation from Brussels. That was the same in all the countries. And besides that, they also talk about the costs of the price of the fuel, the living goods. But most of there are different reasons. But I was very surprised, for example, in Spain, because in Spain they also talk about all those subjects, but they also contest the 2030 agenda from the United Nations. A lot of people with papers, big papers, saying no to global agenda 2030. And that for me was a nice surprise, because it means that a lot of people is now getting conscious that who are the real enemies of the farmers. Because it's not only the governments, it's not only the institutions, but people over them that controls the oligarchs, the globalists that controls, that corrupt those institutions like the European Union, like WHO, like NATO. So it's good to be people waking up and saying that televisions are lying. A lot of people millions of people don't believe anymore in the television. They just don't believe, because they know that they were being lied during all these years. And I went to Germany. It was in Berlin, a big rally in the city, in the capital. Also in France was amazing, because they just closed many main roads. They closed the big buildings, the big institutional buildings, with a lot of trash, and the politicians couldn't enter to their places, because they just entered the entries with trash. I also went to Italy, many very important protests there. Brussels, Belgium. protests during in front of the European Parliament, also in Spain, and also here in Portugal. But in Portugal, the protest just was just one day, because we had the elections in the last in this month. So the government just give everything that the farmers were asking, and the farmers went home happily, because they don't know that the problems are much bigger than money. So in Portugal it was just one day. But in France, more than 60 days. It is still going now. In Belgium, still going now. Greece, Scotland, Poland, a lot of countries are now still fighting for their rights against this green agenda, these European Union rules. So that was what I saw. But I was very happy to see there a lot of people fighting the agenda, the 2030 agenda.
Yeah, that's very positive that people are waking up and getting together, and making opposition towards the big shark, especially when it happens among the average person, that they are not given space, they are not given voice. So it's good to see that they are putting their thoughts together and fighting for their own rights and for their lives. So that's very, very, very positive. So you are all over. So we already crossed maybe most of Europe. So I can see you are traveling a lot. And usually in those podcasts, I'm the one who is traveling more, because I'm a travel writer. But this time, I'll leave the stage to you. For once, we're going to travel. We're going to talk about someone travels, and I can just listen. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that. But let's not just limit ourselves to Europe, because you also crossed the ocean, and you went first. I think first. I don't know, because you traveled so often that sometimes I lose track. The big one is in Brazil. So
yes, I went 2 times in Brazil. I went the first time in 2022, before the elections, to know what people were thinking, what they were afraid. And the people said on the streets that they were very afraid that the elections will not be fair without the paper to vote. So with the digital machines, they didn't to have confidence on the machines. But and the people told me that they were very, very afraid. And I went this time to show the big protest, a massive protest this February 25.
You had some issues at the airport.
Yes, and I went through a big adventure that I was expecting. That I was arrested in the airport. Yesterday, the police went to make to the Senado, they call the Parliament of the Brazil, to talk about that. And they admit that it was about my opinion. So the policeman, the delegate, said that they were monitoring me from Portugal about what I was thinking on the political subjects, and that's why I was interrogated. But they didn't say that was an interrogation. They said it was an interview. That's curious, because they said that I was interviewed, but it was not an interview. I went to the police station to be questioned about some political opinions about.
So you landed in São Paulo. Was it São Paulo?
Yes, in São Paulo.
You, like everyone else, you collect your luggage, you walk towards the police control, and then they stop you. I mean, are you able to share that, or I don't know if it's confidential?
No, I can. There were thousands of people with me on that terminal. We arrived in the morning. Everybody went to immigration without problem. I was the only one with my passport there, and they told me to wait a little bit. And the immigration person went with my passport to the police station, and I was just waiting there. But I knew that something was very wrong, and I put on my social networks that there was a problem with me. I sent a message to a lot of important friends in Brazil and in Portugal that I was in the immigration without my passport, and I received a video call from in WhatsApp, a very important video call from Jair Bolsonaro himself. So because a lot of people talked to him and said that a Portuguese journalist is in the airport without the passport. We don't know what will happen, but the passport is in the police. So we have to do something. And Bolsonaro just called me in the video call, and he told me to Sérgio, stay calm. Everybody is now watching for you. We will call the embassy. We will call our friends. A lawyer is coming to help you. So stay calm and please tell us everything that is happening. And after that, I was very afraid, of course, in the beginning. But after that phone call, I felt much more confident. And then the person from the immigration came to me and said that the police will take me to the police station. And I went to be interrogated about some questions, about political questions. But and meanwhile, the lawyer
what kind of police was asking you political questions? Because they are just regular police who are at the airport, or did they bring some, I don't know, some special force, some investigation police? Who are these people?
They received the instructions from Brasilia, from the main power, and the questions was about the political situation in Brazil, about the Supreme Court, about the Supreme Ministers, about the 8th January events, because there was it was like Capitol in the United States, the event in 8th January, about vaccines, about the situation. Why they asked me why you say that Brazil lives in a dictatorship. There a lot of questions like that. But on that time, the lawyer was there, and he told me to not say to don't say anything, remain silent, because they can use that again you. So what I think that they were expecting is to me to repeat all my political positions that I say here in Europe, to repeat there in their own land, in Brazilian land, so they can put me on jail, or they can deport me, or they can do whatever they want. But I stayed in silent. And on that moment, when I was being interrogated, the situation was they lost control about the situation, because on my face and my video, I did a video, a very important video on the airport, saying there is I would not my passport, I'm waiting to be called to the police. And that video was on every Brazilian, on the WhatsApp groups, on all the newspapers, all the televisions in Portugal, the embassy. So everybody knew what was happening, so they couldn't hide my situation. And even when I was being interrogated, I was all the time doing tweets to say what is happening. So 10 and 11. Now the policeman asks me about the situation of the Brazil. 10 and 30. Now the lawyer comes and we receive a phone call from the embassy, and everybody was knowing what was happening, because I was telling minute by minute everything. And there was some people waiting for me in the airport, journalists from Brazil, even Bolsonaro all the time sending messages to ask me what is happening, are you okay, what is happening now, please tell me everything. And the police know that they had in their hands a big problem, a big political problem, a diplomatic problem, because I'm Portuguese, I'm European, and all the world were knowing that they are asking me political questions. So they have to find an answer, an excuse for that incident. And the excuse they did, some 2 hours later, they made a communique in a press response, and they said that was about my visa, about my situation. That the interview was all about my visa situation. That was a big lie, and that's why the police, the federal police, had to enter yesterday to the Senate, to the Parliament, to ask questions about that, and that to admit that they were monitoring me, that they want to know all my political questions, because I was on their system, alert system, with my opinion crimes. So
opinion crimes, yeah, I like that. Opinion crimes.
and yeah, but then everything went wrong for them, because I think that what they want to do is to scare me in the beginning, or even to put me on jail. I don't know, but they didn't expect that a lot of people, that my situation went so viral in the country, that on that morning every Brazilian know my situation. That's why when I left the police station, they got me my passport again. 4 hours later, I went to the exit with the lawyer. I received another phone call from Bolsonaro to tell me, please, Sérgio, come to have lunch with me to the palace of the São Paulo governor. And so I was, I changed from this, the criminal suspect, I don't knowing what will happen to me, from Bolsonaro guests. So day and night, in the moment I'm in the prison, like what is happening to me.
Yeah.
In another moment, I'm having lunch in a palace, luxurious palace, with Bolsonaro, with Tarcísio, with the São Paulo governor. And after that, I had the opportunity to go with them on their cars to the Paulista Avenue, with 1,000 people waiting there. I went to the big stage there that was there for prepared for Bolsonaro. And for my surprise, when I went to the big stage, everybody on the streets recognized me, and they were like, yeah, the journalist is free, our hero. So I became a kind of hero, a martyr from the Brazilian cause, because they said that even an European is suffering with this repression. So you can imagine what we are suffering. So I was a kind of hero for them, and then I had the chance to talk to the streets with 1,000 people. I said freedom, and because I was crying a lot, it was a mix of things in my head. But in the end, it was very good for me, because they tried to scare me. But in the end, I turned like a hero. Even today, I had 5. This is my fifth interview of the day. I have 4 interviews today for Brazil. So I have a lot of interviews. Even now, we are recording this interview, and I'm now broadcasting an interview to the Epoch Times in Washington in my channel that I did last week. I have interviews all the day, because I became a kind of hero for them, because an European that cares about Brazil, that suffer on his own skin the repression. So for in the end of the day, it was very bad for them that they're trying to scare me. And they give me 10 times much visibility. My Instagram, my YouTube, exploded. My Twitter account exploded. So they wanted to silence me. And now my message about freedom, about the Great Reset, the New World Order, the everything will come to much more and more million of people. So I have to be grateful for them, because what they tried to do came the exact opposite. So in the end of the day, it was good.
And say thank you very much. I think they deserve that. You know? You should be grateful. You know? So.
Yeah, they tried to silence, but they gave me wings.
Yes, exactly, and I think that's not only happening with you, but also with other major figures. The more they try to silence Trump, the more Trump is growing in the polls. In the case of Portugal, the more they try to go after Ventura, the better result he achieved. And then there are many other cases. It happens with Viktor Orban in Hungary. It happened
Yeah.
the way they went after Brexit. It happens with Le Pen, even though she was not elected. It's just, it's just a common thing. So and they don't learn. They don't see that censorship. It's not something that will be in their favor in the end. On the short term, yes, but on the long term, like we that are being prosecuted, our voice is going to be amplified, and they should see. Okay, look at what happened with Sérgio. Look at what happened with Trump. Look at what happened with Bolsonaro. Even with Bolsonaro, he's coming back. He's not a president, but he's kind of coming back. He's recovering some popularity. I would say if there will be an election, a fair election today,
Yeah.
he would probably win. So
Completely
they
with with a legal process, not with that process what was completely fake. Yeah, but I'm the proof of that, because I have a lot of censorship. My channels, my Facebook pages went down. They crashed. A lot of thousands of people in different pages. I had 13 YouTube channels deleted, but I always came back all the time. So the censorship made that we had to find some creativity.
Yeah.
So now I have to say thank to that censorship, because now I had, for example, 4 Instagram accounts, 7 Facebook accounts, 3 YouTube channels, 1 Rumble, 1 Telegram, 2 Twitters, 1 Odyssey. Because of them, because if they don't see censorship my channels in the beginning, I probably I will only have 1 Instagram, 1 Facebook, and 1 YouTube. And now I have a lot of even the other platforms like Rumble, like Odyssey, like Telegram, where they cannot make the censorship. So we always find the ways to send a message and to fight that censorship. And if I cannot talk in YouTube, I go to Rumble. If I cannot in Rumble, I go to Twitter, like Tucker Carlson on the Twitter. And now in Twitter is the best place to breathe free speech, because there is no censorship there. Completely, I can talk about vaccines. I can talk about everything. There is no problem there. So that's because it's Elon Musk, the owner. Because my Twitter account was deleted 2 days before Elon Musk gets the Twitter. So I was lucky. But we always find a way to find out to speak our voice all the time.
So you mentioned Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, United States. That would be my next topic. So I was watching you with what I call our Elon Musk, Miguel Milhão. I think he is our Elon Musk in many sense. I'm sure I'm not the first person comparing him to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of common things between them. So I was watching on YouTube, and I think it was great because it was an alternative way to follow what was happening in the Portuguese election without going through all the bullshit we see in the other channels. And I'm abroad, so it's not that easy for me to get access to the national TV, and I don't miss it. Actually, I don't have TV, man. I don't have TV since I'm abroad, which is 17 years abroad.
So 17 good.
Years. And it's fine.
I'm from 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah, and keep going, because like it's a distraction. It occupies space, so you can you can put some books, you can put a few bottles of wine, you can put a portrait of yourself and your girlfriend. There are so many good things that you can put that instead of a TV. So get rid of the TV if you have one. Just sell it. That's
the negative energy, completely energy. If you turn on the TV, you will heard about deaths, about war, about the inflation, about suffering, about the climate change. It's always negative news, negative energy. So for me, there is no energy of that. The only thing I see on television is football, soccer, because I love football.
Same. That's where we have a disagreement. I know you're a Sporting Lisbon fan, and I'm a Porto fan. So that's where.
No, but Porto is okay for me. Benfica is the problem for me.
Exactly. So if I know Porto is not in the race for this year's title, so I want Sporting to win. So I even dress up in green, so it's for Ireland and it's for
yeah.
you. So
That- yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Everything is, but not Benfica. Benfica never.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. So let me go back to the States. So you met our Elon Musk. You were in Florida. You were in Washington, and there was a short of yours where you're wandering around. I think in Florida, if I remember well. And you were saying, "This is a free place. I'm not being chased by the police. I can say what I want." And Miguel always says, "This is the land of the free," which is a saying from the Americans. Is it something that you also perceived when you were there?
Yeah, but when I say that it's a free country, it's not completely free country, because we know Biden, we know the problems, the United States, the wars. We know about that the COVID. During the COVID, there was a lot of problems. People couldn't work without the vaccine. So well, it's a limited freedom. But what I was saying, it was comparing to Brazil. I didn't have any problem to enter, any problem to go to near the White House. That's what I was talking about. Because if I go to some other details, there's a lot of problems in the United States. So, but yes, it's the land is known to be the land of the freedom land, and the possibilities to have a new life, the American dream. So I felt safe there. I felt with freedom there. Yeah, but in Brazil, no. In Brazil, I was very afraid when I said goodbye to my family. I was crying because I was afraid to not come back. It was different. And from Brazil, I'm interviewed a lot of people, the deputies, people from the Senate, from the parliament, Brazilian parliament, and they all say that they can't talk because they are completely persecuted. They see their accounts frozen, the passport taken off, the social media deleted. They don't have free speech. They are arrested. The situation is really very bad in Brazil, and I'm the example. The European person that enters in Brazil and is treated like a criminal because of what I think about political questions. So in Washington, I met Miguel Milhão, the Portuguese Elon Musk. I really enjoyed him. He's a nice guy. I think he's one of our guys, but he's a little bit that millionaire that have some his wishes. There's a call in Portuguese. A word in Portuguese is when people want these things that's different from the common.
That's peculiar.
Yeah. He's eccentric. In Portuguese, eccentric. In maybe in English, eccentric. So he's a little bit eccentric. Yeah, but I like his energy, and it was very nice to meet him. And maybe we talk about we can work together. So
because if you can join force, guys.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Yeah,
because we have the same goal. His goal is freedom, and my goal is freedom. So there is the possibility to work together. And after that, I went to Washington to meet all those political persons from Brazil, even Eduardo Bolsonaro, the Bolsonaro son, and the other important people. We went to CPEC. That's a conference from the right wing. That's very important there, with the connections to Donald Trump. And they went there just to say what is happening in Brazil. They talk with another congressman from the United States Congress, Chris Smith. They want to go now to European Parliament, to the Portuguese Parliament, to French Parliament, to say what is happening in Brazil, because they say that in Brazil we can't do anything. The country is completely taken by the judicial power. So we are now trying to expose the problems on the international parliaments, international courts, to see if people are more aware of what is happening in our country. and I think they are doing the right way. And I'm grateful to can help them, because I turn, like I said, I turn like a hero for them, and I accept that role, and I want to help them, because if my mission is freedom, and Brazil has no freedom, so of course I can help them, because maybe one day they are free, and in Portugal I'm not, and I will need their help, and they will remember that I was helping them. So we have to help each other, because it's a common enemy, from Brazil, from Portugal, from Canada. They are the same guys. The only thing that changes is the government puppets that are serving those globalists. So I'm very grateful to help them, and I will come back to Brazil. I will come back. I can assure you.
Yeah, they need you. They need you there. They need like an external ally, which is not that much. You are concerned, but you are brave enough to deal with your concerns and go regardless of what's going to happen. So you might be interrogated. They might ask you questions that are uncomfortable. That you're going to be stressed, but the mission is bigger than all that, and you will go anyway. And that's what I think.
And I have a shield. I'm the European shield. I'm a European citizen. That's a very important shield. I have that they don't have. The Brazilian people, then they don't have this shield. So I have to help them.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Portuguese situation. So we just had the elections. Actually, I was following, and I'm going to ask you, because I unfortunately I couldn't be that much on the internet as I would like. So we just received the votes from the people like me, who are abroad.
The immigrants.
The immigrants. Yeah, actually, I didn't vote. I won't say that to the public, that people don't want to think that I'm here like doing campaign for this party or the other. I wanted to vote. I'm not going to say where I'm going to vote. People know it anyway, or they might have a feeling. I didn't vote because the envelope didn't arrive to my post box. I don't know what happened, but didn't arrive.
A lot of people. That happened with a lot of people. A lot of people. Yeah.
So I have a preference, but that's all. So I don't have much stake on it. So I was checking the results from the immigrants, and I think Chega was leading. I think they were
the big winner. With two more deputies.
Two more, and then one for AD and another one for PS.
Yes.
Is it the final result?
Yes. And that's the amazing result, because it shows that the immigrant people are also want a change, because a lot of people, for example, I vote on Chega, but I don't like Chega. I don't put my hands on fire for them. I just depositing my hope on them, because I really want a change for my country. And if they are not deserve my confidence, I will tell the world. But I just needed a change, so that's why I also help them to make some interviews with Chega persons, to give them a speech to talk, because on the media they all the time attacking Chega, attacking. So I was trying to help them a little bit, but I'm not Chega. On the other elections in 2022, I didn't vote Chega, for example. So I just put my hope on Chega, and I really hope that they can help to change the situation, because it's really bad. The government, this left-wing government that we had, just followed completely all the agendas from the globalists, all the bad agendas, all the bad strategies, all the evil things that they are imposing. The Portuguese government did. So I'm very happy that a lot of people changed and wanted a change and voted for a change. Even if it is not Chega, even if it was from other parties, but everything then the PS or PSD, because most of all PS is left. The leftists are really bad, evil.
Yeah, for the people out there, I'm going to make this comparison. I would say you will be in agreement with me. They are very similar to the Democrats in the U.S. Very,
Yes,
very
yeah,
similar.
completely. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
are
yeah.
left leaning. They are going further to the left, and they are very much aligned to the global agenda. And they say one thing and they act another. They are what they say in Hungary. No, I lived in Hungary for 3 years, and
Yeah,
and the Hungarians say they drink water and they drink wine. So that's what these guys do. That's all. They
yeah,
are very famous for that. So you cannot rely on people who act one way and present themselves in another. And that's exactly what they are. Like there is barely one person in that party that you can feel, yeah, maybe they are the right people. No, like from the radical left to the moderate, it's full of hypocrisy. So I wouldn't rely in those guys at all. So I'm glad that they are not able to be the next government, as it seems, unless
yeah,
there is a major surprise, let's say, from our president. I think they need to accept that they will be on opposition, and they are not prepared for that because they have been in power for many years. They are so used to
yeah,
take the lead. They don't know what is it to criticize the others because they take themselves as government. And there's one thing that I hate is arrogance, especially when it comes from politicians. Like I cannot stand. I just accept. I usually say that I only accept arrogance when people are funny. Like let's say Andrew Tate. Like the guy is
yes, yes,
arrogant. The guy's arrogant. He's kind of a prick, but there's there is some flavor about him. I mean, I don't agree with him in every single topic, but at least I have a good time when I listen to him, and I think he has some message. But those guys, it's all about themselves. You don't have a good time listen to them. So I just switch off the TV, when I listen to them, and I'm glad that they are gone. But now let's see what will be the alternative. It's very hard to see what can be put in place because coalitions are not that easy. There is a taboo around Che, like you cannot be friends with them. You cannot even sit at the same table with them. Actually, I would love to talk to Ventura because I'm a big talk about football. After Porto, my
yeah,
big football team is Cork City, and I know Ventura studied in Cork. So
yeah,
I never met a Portuguese person who was in Cork. So I will be delighted
yeah,
to talk to him, even though I don't agree with. I wouldn't say I would agree with some of his political views, but still, I would like
yeah.
to
Me,
see.
me too. There are a lot of things that I don't agree with them. For example, the Ukraine situations, because I have different feelings, but I respect it. It's
Yeah,
political strategy. I respect that. Okay.
yeah. And you were in Ukraine, by the way. You just mentioned
Yeah,
that.
during the pandemic to see how they were dealing with the pandemic, and it was a very nice surprise. They just don't care. The Ukrainian people during the pandemic, they just don't care. No masks, no, never everything, not alcohol gel, not nothing. It
Mm,
was a very nice surprise. So it's like in Russia. Russia, they didn't care about the pandemic. In Belarus, the same. In
yes.
Africa, in some states of the United States. So in the end, I can affirm that if we still living our life, with all the countries will uh, completely win the problems of this pandemic with the major without any difference. I even think that it was very the damage was bigger than the profit with all
Yes.
the strategies, the restrictions. And Portugal is the example of that. And Sweden is without the excess debt, and Portugal with the mortality rate increasing. So the Ukraine people, Africa, the Sweden shown the correct way.
Yeah, I think we're just breaking, Sergio.
I'm still hearing. I'm still hearing
Okay.
everything.
Coming
Yeah.
back. Yeah. For a moment, I thought you were censored. You never know these days,
No,
right?
no, 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 no. It's okay. It's
I thought
okay.
they listened to us and they say it's enough. Let's silence
Yeah,
those guys, and
yeah,
because
yeah. They think
I
about
don't want to
what
be
we
paranoid,
want.
but you never know. But by the way, here in Ireland, the Prime Minister resigned today.
I didn't know. Yeah, because because Ireland is facing a lot immigration problems from the Muslims, and I know I heard I get some images with a lot of protests, people protesting about the violence. So it's not easy there. Even the farmers went to the streets. So I know it that the situation is not so good. Maybe one day I go there.
That's what I want to say. So if you come to Ireland, you have a home, you have a place to stay. You don't need to sleep in the car. I know you did that when you went to
a lot of times.
Germany
Yeah,
and Switzerland. You didn't go by car to save the climate. You went by car because you want to see things. So
yeah,
you didn't want to do the Greta. You just went by car because you are closer, I think, to action, to people, to
yes,
sources, which is a thing that matters to you. Like journalists, as I said in the beginning of this chat, used to be, they want to be as near as things that they can report things as they are and not as others are telling. So I think that will be great. So you have a home if you come here. If there is
thank you.
there's a protest, you can come. If there's no protest, you can come. You can always sit for a beer if you drink beer.
Yeah. It's also important. It's also important. Yeah.
So, so Prime Minister is gone. I think the major reason why he resigned is, so we had a referendum, I think a week or 2 weeks ago, and he was doing campaign for the yes, okay, and the yes was all about changing the definition of family, that woman will be in the house, and anyway, I don't want to bother too much on this, but they want to make it more progressive. So there was a huge campaign for the yes, and the state, the usual players, the media, the universities, corporations, all this crap, they got together. Where there's the others that they always call far right, they were for the no, and the no won with 73%. 73% was huge.
That's huge. Completely, yeah.
And they had all the funds, they had all the support, they have all the platforms, and the no was just people doing word of mouth, trying to post things on the internet, trying to tell to others when they were sitting in a pub or having dinner, and they won. And it's not only that they won with a massive difference. It was the constitution change that was defeated with the biggest margin. It was massive, 74%. There was only a part of Dublin where the yes won, not Dublin itself, but one district. That was it. The rest of the country voted no. So it was a red card, and the Prime Minister understood that he had the honor to say, "This is it." I thought I would be reinforced after the referendum, but they're telling me goodbye. And at least the man had the dignity to leave.
Yeah.
So at least
to understand the people's message. Yeah.
Yes. So that's what we need to do. Focus on the message. So I want to finish this conversation with this. I hope you will be able to. Actually, I more than I hope, I'm pretty confident you'll be able to deliver the message to more and more people. I just checked your Instagram before we jump on this podcast. You have almost 500,000 followers. You have more followers than most of the journalists and politicians in Portugal. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, because it's the recognition of my work and my effort to fight for freedom. Because this is a long journey. It started on Sweden, Ukraine, or even Hungary. I was in Hungary. I was in Italy, in France, in the United Kingdom, Brazil, and I will continue. So people are recognizing my effort. Even in Portugal, I go to the streets. I listen to the people. Well, so what do you think the real problems are? So do you want to vote on these, or do you want for a change? And for example, I have a lot of people following me from Chega, from the Chega party, Portuguese party, because they also they lost the confidence and trust on the media. So they they started to follow me, and people like me to know what is happening in the world. So and in Brazil, a lot of people from Brazil, a lot, even people from Africa. So this is a journey, but that doesn't comes up to my head. Oh, I'm famous. No, my focus is the same. I just want to the things calm down again, so I can continue to do my shows, my programs, the program three vezes três, the roast, the blind spot journal, to keep going my work, because that's what I like. But it's good to have a lot of people knowing hearing my message. Of course, it's good, because I can show other perspective to millions of people, and they can think by themselves, and without the brainwashing from the television. That's for me the most important. They, as I said in the beginning, they don't have to think like me, but they have to have different perspectives and have their own thoughts. So that's what I want, and I will continue.
Yeah, that's very noble. That's all that journalism used to be about, and I'm happy that you are pursuing that, and that's part of your journey. Your authenticity, you are honest, you are true to yourself. So I think it's fantastic. And again, I'm biased. I admire your work. I agree with most of your points. Don't agree with everything, but otherwise
Of
it'll be very
course, of
boring.
course.
If
Yeah,
we talk
and
to
I
someone
do a
that
lot of
like that.
mistakes. I do a lot of mistakes. I say a lot of wrong things, but that's part of the learning. I'm also learning of what is happening in the world, and I always trying to get better, to be a better person, to be a better journalist, to improve in everything. But we are humans, of course, and I think that's why people like me, because they know that I can fail, but I can say that I failed, of course, and I recognize that I'm always learning. I don't know what is happening in the world. I'm still looking. I'm still finding and searching what is really happening, to show the people, to help people to understand. But this is a journey together. I'm learning with the people. People are learning with me. We are all learning. I don't know anything. I'm just finding and searching for the truth, and fighting for freedom.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Just I want to wrap up, but I cannot set that aside. I think people relate to you because we can identify with you pretty easily, because you go there by yourself with your own means. You don't have a massive organization behind you, so your message resonates easily because you are like one of us. You are, and the fact that you are being vulnerable in this episode, I think to be very attractive, at least to someone like me. I like to get the impression that there is a human on the other side that is trying to do his best, is accepting his faults and flaws, and is learning with that. And I think that's a great message for the people. Look, Sérgio, I know you've been doing interviews the whole day, and that there is more to come, and you already did more than an hour. So I'm very grateful that you took the time to talk to me. I think it was fantastic. Again, the door is open for you to come to Dublin. You can come by yourself with your girlfriend. We'll go, if there's a protest, I join you. Very likely.
Thank you.
I join you. I'm not going to say if there is a pub, because there are plenty. So we go for a pub and for a few drinks.
We have to drink a beer, of course.
Yeah. So that will be on the card. So look, thank you very much for this, and I wish you a great success in your personal and professional endeavors. I think you really deserve.
Okay, thank you, Victor. Thank you for this invitation, and I hope that your channel can grow. I know what is to be on the beginning of a YouTube channel. I know what is in the beginning of a project. I started a lot of times because I had many channels deleted, so I have to start. So I know what is that. So I hope you can get what you want, and I'm glad to help and to be the number 10. So thank you, and thank you everybody that is watching it here. And I'm sorry, my English is not so perfect, but it's
Come on.
it works. It works.
Don't be modest. It works. I think next time you go to Europe, you have more people waiting for you.
Of course.
From other parts of Europe. So I'm going to put in the description your Instagram, your website,
thank you,
your YouTube, that that people can find you. So I hope that will help spread your profile across the Europe and the world, also the United States. Let's not forget that.
Okay. Thank you, Vitor. Thank you all.
Take care.
Obrigado. Obrigado.
Obrigado. Tchau.
Tchau.